A dozen arrested in Amherst as a crowd of college students takes part in the Blarney Blowout celebrations, a decades-old off-campus party tradition. Western Mass News reporter Olivia Hickey joins us live in the studio with what we know so far. Olivia?
Well, we're told the party started this morning and wrapped up around 2:30 this afternoon. And this year, the number of students transported to the hospital for alcohol consumption was less than last year, but the number of arrests were way up. This video captured on the personal cell phone of one of our Western Mass News employees Saturday shows hundreds of students participating in the annual Blarney Blowout, a tradition many Amherst area college students participate in. A majority of the off-campus event takes place at the townhouse of Amherst condominiums on Meadow Street. Involves drinking, with some participants underage.
Oh, it's been awesome. It's been great.
The party, however, did not have the same outcome for everyone. For some, it ended with emergency lights, with public safety crews responding to calls for help.
I was expecting to have some fun. A couple of my friends did get sent to the hospital.
Amherst Fire Department officials confirmed 21 medical ambulance transports, mostly related to alcohol consumption. While this number is lowered compared to last year's 38 ambulance calls, arrests were up. Police in Amherst report 18 people arrested and 50 citations issued, a majority alcohol related, for underage possession or open container violations. Other charges include disorderly conduct and 2 cases of assault and battery on a police officer. Last year, there were 2 arrests for underage drinking. Police add property damage was minimal compared to previous years. This is the area around the townhouses when our Western Mass News crews arrived Saturday afternoon. We captured several alcohol containers scattered on the ground and gallon jugs presumably used to curate Borgs, or blackout rage gallons, a trend from social media. It seemed quieter, but one participant tells us he saw objects from cans to soccer balls to tree branches being thrown earlier.
Honestly, it's been pretty hectic, in my opinion. I feel like I would never come here again, personally.
It's important to note this event, not affiliated with the university, isn't for everyone. UMass Amherst spokesperson Ed Blagazewski confirms over 1,500 tickets were handed out for the free university-sponsored Spring Blast, featuring comedians like Tiffany Haddish and Ben Schwartz, scheduled as an alternative option for students on Saturday. And 600 additional students signed up for free bus trips Saturday, including skiing at Berkshire East, Boston's New England Aquarium, and 2 different Broadway shows. Amherst and UMass officials tell us the precautions put in place, including collaborative planning and proactive police intervention, helped in managing the impact of the festivities. When I spoke with Blagazewski Friday, I asked what precautions students can face if they are cited by the police and arrested during the event. He said anytime a student gets arrested, the standard process under the Code of Student Conduct is they get referred to the Dean of Students for review. Reporting live in studio, Olivia Hickey, Western Mass News.
Thank you, Olivia.